Messrs. Tevenet, Dowling, Sestito, and Prongs welcome you to the Marauder's Map as we cover Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Haven't Seen It with Tim Sestito and Tommy Tevenet. Hello, everybody. Welcome on in. Thank you all so much for listening today. This is a podcast where one of us is watching a movie for the very first time, and today that is Tommy, who is the only child from the 2000s who just missed the entire Harry Potter wave, like completely
I always hated it.
That's a great way to start off this podcast. I always hated it.
For the Potter fans, I mean, I'm going to be the contrarian, I guess, here of the three of us. With our special guest, Connor Dowling. Welcome back to the pod.
Yes, Connor Dowling, our resident. He's here to check our lore, essentially. He's our lore
check my
expert.
negative energy.
I will check your negative energy because... Well, I asked you if you'd seen Sorcerer's Stone because I feel like that's the quintessential Christmas time one of these movies. And then you're like, I've seen the first two. Yeah. And I hated them. And I was like, okay. Let's go to the best, which is Prisoner of Azkaban. Like, I think this is easily the best movie in this series. I don't even know if it's close, really. I think the film franchise has a lot more ups and downs than the books. As a book reader, Dowling, yourself, I think you would maybe also agree with that, where the quality of the movies ebb and flow much more deeply than the quality of the books do. I feel like the books are all pretty consistent.
Oh,
like, there's better ones, there's worse ones, but they're all very consistent. But the movies really ebb and flow in quality.
100%. I think most people know that, like, 5 is their least favorite. They won't say it's bad as a book.
Oh, that was an awful movie.
But
you've seen that one?
I agree. The movie stinks.
The movie stinks.
The movie stinks.
Well, so I remember when we were in like Camp 78, Timmy, back in the day. I forget if you were in there with me, but there's one day where it was a rainy day. There's a summer camp we went to, and they said, let's go to the movies. And so the two choices were, this is 2007. So it was Transformers or Harry Potter 5. And I said Transformers, even though I already saw it. I was like, yeah, that rocks. And everyone else said Harry Potter. So we watched Harry Potter 5, and I was such a miserable little bitch about it. I was trying to fall asleep the whole time and like making a stink about it. Be like, oh, why does it be a Harry Potter?
Oh, wait, Tommy, you weren't a good sport about something?
Yeah.
No.
What a shocker. But I've been a good sport tonight, so I'm changing up my spoon, even though it still didn't change my feelings about Harry Potter.
Okay,
that's interesting. I think it's good that we have a person who doesn't like Harry Potter to discuss, because I think it'll just make a more interesting conversation than us just being like, oh, this is really good.
Well, it's kind of like when we covered the other Emma Watson movie we covered, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, where both of us were like, yeah, this movie sucks, and that ended up being one of our more popular episodes. So, and multiple people told me, oh, I love that movie, and then I heard you guys shit on it the whole time. It happens.
I think the books correlate, like, with the length. Like, the movies correlate with the book's length. The bigger the book is, the harder it is to show that in a movie. So quality drops. That's an easy metric. The first couple, great. Third, it's really good. It's a really good movie.
And then I would say 4 through 6 are all like middling to poor in quality. So like for me, my rankings would be 3, then 7 part 1, 7 part 2, then 1, 2, and then you can rotate 6, 4, 5. You could just put all 3 of them at the bottom in the movie rankings. So it's not a book ranking. That's just a movie ranking.
Yeah, I love, the books, it's different story, but movies, like the first one I thought was the truest to the books. It was nice.
But it's also it's probably the easiest to adapt because it's the true
it's well done. It's
hero story.
There's a lot of people who ended up reading the entire series just because they saw that movie and was like, "Oh, that's a good movie." It was a great intro to the whole world. They did a great job, and then depending on what you like in the first 4 movies, I thought the 4th movie was pretty good. Uh,
I think it's
yeah,
I
it
I do not like that movie.
takes
Yeah,
different
yeah.
strokes for different folks. But first 4, most people can agree are pretty decent. I had a lot of trouble with the next 4 movies. I didn't care for
Yeah.
many of them. I saw them only once.
I do remember how much of a bad sport I was at, like, when the last movie when the last movie came out, this was, like, my junior year of high school, so Tim's senior year, and I remember there was one night where, like, I had the my house to myself, and I was trying to get a party going, be like I was trying to invite Timmy and, like, our buddy Davey and, like, Tom and a bunch of others, like, "Hey, guys, open house tonight, let's go out," and you guys all said, "No, the midnight release of Harry Potter, the final movie is coming out." I said, "Fuck all you guys, fuck Harry Potter."
Now, who's the dork, Tommy? I
Yeah,
was at the midnight release as one of
yeah,
the
you guys are all dressed up.
Yeah,
as one of the students.
no, I was dressed up as Lupin, and I couldn't grow a mustache, and I literally drew, a porn star mustache on.
Oh my goodness.
Amazing. Meanwhile, I was stewing.
You're the odd man out, Tommy.
I
No,
think Tom
Tom was at the movie with us.
it was like someone else then. It was like I think James Rimmer was with me and someone else, and I just remember being like, "Yeah,
Oh,
no
you
one wanted to
went
fucking
too?
go to Harry
Yeah.
Potter."
Nuts to that cat.
And then everyone, I remember like everyone started getting really defensive against me, where I said "fuck Harry Potter," and then Davey said, "No, fuck you, Tommy."
Oh, yeah, fuck you, Tommy.
That's that's
Yeah,
good advice.
Well, I think what's interesting with the Harry Potter film franchise and then 7 Part 2, where I put it up higher in my rankings, I kind of almost feel like it was the prototypical event movie. Like we did like event movies didn't like we just had blockbusters, but there wasn't really like the event movie like an Avengers Endgame and like these just big ending movies that just that genre didn't really exist. And I think Harry Potter 7 Part 2 is the first like true event movie where it's this decade long thing coming to an end and it's this culmination of all these years of books and movies and video games and merchandise and just this beloved franchise that's going on, and it all culminates here at the end of this story. Um, and I think for us, like who for me who grew up with these books, like I read the first book probably when I was like 5 or 6, somewhere in that lane. Like we listened, me and my family listened to the audiobooks over and over again. Like
oh, I hated them.
I have Jim Dole's voice seared into my head endlessly for Jim Dale, excuse me,
Yeah. He
for
was
the
the
audiobooks.
medicine man in, Pete's Dragon. Yeah, the Disney movie.
I do think a part of it boils down to me of being like never getting over my younger brother thing, where my sister loved the Harry Potter books and movies, and so me and my older brother were immediately like, "Well, fuck that then."
That's
And I
for
do,
girls.
A
yeah, exactly.
contrarian to that.
Contrarian take right there, where like there's probably still some like some stuff I've gotten over. Like I used to hate the Backstreet Boys, and I'm like, I get it. They're fun.
Yeah. I love NSYNC. I am
Yeah, I do
proud.
remember on road trips, we would like my sister sometimes would make us like switch from making music that my brother and I were listening to be like, "Can we listen to Harry Potter audiobooks?" We're like, "What the hell is this shit?"
Oh
Immediately,
my
we were like, going from like rocking out to like I don't know, like Queen in the car or something like that, to then like switching to like Harry Potter.
god.
Chapter 24.
And you're like, "Oh, this is so boring."
Well,
So there's
I'm
my
a
Harry Potter hate take.
I'm a super dork. I suggest the Stephen Fry English version where it's got a little bit more lip to it and it makes a difference. And I've listened to those audiobooks with my entire family. It's some of my most cherished moments. We're driving like 9 hours, get a couple hours of Harry Potter. Couple hours of Harry Potter means couple hours of silence. You can't buy that. Yeah.
You can buy Harry Potter audio tapes.
No, but I mean,
I
you know,
okay,
you
let me
gotta
make a
set
joke.
the
Let
hook.
me Dowling,
You gotta set the hook.
let me make a joke. Let me make a joke here, okay? Sometimes my humor is dry and witty, and just let me
I
make the
don't
joke
get
there.
it.
But all right, before we fully dive into Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, what have you fellas watched recently? Anything interesting strike your fancy?
I'll start. I had a killer of a weekend. So first off, Friday night, turns out Yale is doing a 35 millimeter screening of Die Hard, the original Die
Hell
Hard,
yeah.
on film. Went to go see that with my friends and my girlfriend. The next night, another theater near me was doing a double feature of Die Hard 2 and Lethal Weapon. So I just was like fully in the midst of 80s like cop action movies. And it just rocked. I mean, Die Hard, especially the original Die Hard, is just the classic movie. I mean, it's a
It's
Christmas movie.
perfect. Perfect
It's
movie.
perfect. It's amazing.
Baptized with action for the season.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
and and it's just plays so well, and, like, it's so funny, like, the scenes that people are cheering for, and it was funny because like, it was a screening Yale does these free screenings, like, every semester, and a lot of times it's really cool movies, and a lot of times you also get young kids that come into it. Like, I remember, like, Terminator 2, some kid was taking notes next to me because it was for his class. I was like, "What the hell?" When they did that, and, for Die Hard, the guy who introduced the film, he asked, "Now, who here hasn't seen Die Hard?" And I'm thinking, like, most people are gonna, like, not raise their hands, and then I'd say, like, probably, like, 70% of the crowd raised their hands, and I was like, "Oh, we're in for one right now." And it just like, for a crowd that mostly hasn't seen Die Hard, it just played so well, so much fun, so amazing. Everyone cheered when, Reginald Vell Johnson shot the bad guy at the end of the movie, and it was like everyone's like, "Yeah, let's go." It's such
It
a
was
funny cheer moment.
interactive.
Yeah, and then, so then that was Die Hard, and then the next night, Die Hard 2. Seeing those 2 movies back to back is really funny. Die Hard 2 is probably the worst of the original sequels, but it's still really fun, and because a lot of it is that it just, like, has too much, like, shoe lever of being like, "Oh, well, everyone's back. We're gonna have Reginald Vell Johnson have a scene. We're gonna have William Atherton have a scene back." But it was one of those movies that like this crowd for the Die Hard 2 Lethal Weapon screening were so rowdy that it was just like everyone was dying at every stupid fucking one liner. Like when William Sadler, who's the villain in Die Hard 2, at one point a reporter comes up to him and said, "Hey, can we get a word?" He said, "Yeah, 2 words. Fuck and you." And everyone's like, "Yeah, let's go." We
Tell
were
him.
all we were all in it. We were all just like completely locked in, and it was the perfect environment to see that movie in. Because there's so many ridiculous moments where at one point, like Bruce Willis, John McClane is in like a plane, and all the villains throw all their grenades inside said plane. So John McClane has to think on his feet, and then he has to go into the plane's ejector seat and it ejects while an explosion falls right before. And when that happened, we were all just like, "This rocks! This rocks! Let's go!" And it's just such a funny follow up. And then ending the night of Lethal Weapon, like the ideal buddy cop movie. Just so much fun. Just a blast right there. Just the saxophone, the Shane Blackness of it all. Mel Gibson being crazy in a fun way, not like today, in a non-fun way. But just and every time Danny Glover said, "I'm too old for this shit," everyone in the crowd broke out into cheers. Are like, "Yeah, let's
You
go.
shot it.
He's too old. Yeah." The perfect environment to see those movies in. So if you ever get this chance to see those 3 movies, Die Hard, Die Hard 2, and Lethal Weapon in theaters, go do it. You'll have a blast.
It sounds like the Rocky Horror Picture Show of those movies, which sounds like a good time.
Yeah, yeah. Very much.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dowling?
Yeah. Okay. So I was listening to a couple weeks ago episode where you were talking about 12 Monkeys, where they were saying the nominees for the best supporting actor. And one of them was Tim Roth for Rob Roy. And I happen to have seen that in theaters and know it's an amazing movie. I saw it when I was young. What year was 12 Monkeys? Like 95-ish?
95.
95.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I was like 13, so like middle school. It was a rated R movie. Went with my grandma. This is a masterpiece. It is an all-star cast. You got Liam Neeson, you got Brian Cox, You got Jessica Lange, you got Tim Roth, John Hurt, like, James Spader's in it, like, it's
That's an all-star cast.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not kidding. So it's a kind of fictionalized account of this Scottish hero, figure like early 1700s. He's like the head of his clan. They raise cattle, they sell it. The English are there. No one likes them, blah, blah, blah. So he borrows some money, and this noble's nephew, who's a real shitbird, played by Tim Roth, literally one of the most despicable characters ever put to film. He finds out that Liam Neeson's making this big deal for a head of cattle, and he's borrowing like 8 grand, like enough for like a village, and Tim Roth kills his man and robs him of 8,000. This goes wrong, that goes wrong, and eventually, like, he puts pressure on Liam Neeson, freaking burns his freaking whole lords and stuff, rapes his wife, Jessica Lange. He comes back, seeks freaking asylum. It ends in a freaking duel to the death. And
Oh,
Liam
hell yeah.
Neeson's got a big Liam Neeson already knew how to work the lightsaber props in Phantom Menace because of this movie. And you can tell he spent a long time studying it. And Tim Roth has a freaking rapier. And I'm telling you, it's one of the best dueling scenes in movie history. I rewatched it just to make sure the memory was as good as, it actually was.
Making sure the
Mm,
nostalgia glasses weren't on.
Oh, dude,
Darling, I do have to love that we offhand mentioned, like, maybe, like, that movie for, like, a second on
you're
our
like,
pod, 2
that's a
weeks ago.
forgotten movie.
We
And I was
that was verbatim the line.
Literally, we said it was a forgotten movie.
And I, in such a contrarian way, was like, "No, I remember that movie, and it was dope." I texted you guys
You texted me
immediately.
about it, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" You said you mentioned on the pod. I was like, "I don't remember saying that." Like that, like one like random line I said in the pod for like a second, where I was like,
And
"Rob
I'm
Roy."
like I'm
Uh,
like, "Yes, no, it is not forgotten." I thought Tim Roth should have won, because, oh my god, it had my dear grandmother cursing him, and she didn't curse, and she goes, "That bastard." Like, and I've never heard my grandmother swear before in my life, ever. My
yeah,
dear Irish grandmother,
That's an Irish grandmother right there, doesn't
yeah.
ever.
curse.
It's that's a movie we'll have to cover eventually, probably.
You have
Yeah.
to. The venom was dripping from her. That bastard. And I was like, "Oh my god, like, this could be the best acting of all
Maybe we have a
time."
forgotten classics month.
No, it was a real good one, and I rewatched it. Tommy, there's some breath in there, but the action hopefully draws you back in. Like, it breathes a little bit, but there's some freaking masterpiece acting scenes in it. It's a real good one, dude.
So
And the
yeah,
ending, oh, you feel good about the ending. It's
All right,
it's a
yeah.
banger. Okay, sorry. Taking off
good.
the Rob Roy kilt.
Gotta
But
gotta
So
slip the kilt off.
one of the most popular reviews on Letterbox is he has a very particular set of kilts.
oh,
So I went to the theater with my girlfriend. We're trying to really get in the holiday spirit this year,
Humble
and
brag.
we went and saw How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Jim Carrey
lovely.
version, classic. Like, I definitely have childhood nostalgic glasses for this movie. Jim Carrey just puts that movie on his back and
Eats it up.
eats it
Well,
up.
you heard that like he had to get like Navy SEAL training for that movie.
CIA training, torture training
Yeah,
to apply the
he's, like,
makeup.
twirling pebbles and stuff, like, "Think about puppies." Like, that's
Yeah,
horrible.
because he there's a story that came out recently. Not to interrupt you, Tim, but Jim Carrey almost quit the movie and almost said to like Brian Glazer and Ron Howard, "Here, I'll take back my 25 million. I don't know if I can do this movie. This whole makeup process is torturous."
Yeah, and I mean, it was like 8 hours in the chair every day, like, that is
Oh,
arduous, that is
Yeah, yeah.
grueling. I mean,
above and beyond.
it still looks great, like the makeup does. I think the film itself, like,
It's kind of mediocre.
it should be more colorful. Yeah, it's listen, but it's got that Christmas charm to it that I think people that draws them back to it. The one thing I wanted to note, which I've seen this movie before, I never noticed this before, is that there's a scene where like they show the babies arriving, um, and like how like all the babies come and it's basically like the stork scene, but they just come down with like umbrellas. And then there's one moment where like guy picks it up, honey, we got our baby. Wow, he looks like your boss, which is that's a joke you don't get as a kid for sure. And then the second one is like where the house that the Grinch comes out. It's like we were actually having a party. And it just shows a bunch of people throwing keys in a fishbowl, which if you're not aware of what a key party is, it's a swinging event. Uh,
Amazing.
and we'll leave it at that. And I'm like, that I can't believe they put that in this movie. Like that is such a like that's a joke that completely goes over your head as a kid. You have no idea what it means. You're just like watching it. That one's a wink, wink, nod, nod for mom and dad there. But I was like
Wow.
stunned that that was in the movie. That was kind of my big takeaway because I've seen the movie enough that I was like, yeah, I know this movie, but it's a Christmas classic, and I have nostalgic for it. I feel like I'd probably be much harsher on the movie if I didn't have nostalgia for it.
Yeah.
That's kind of my take on it.
Me, it's I always loved the Dr. Seuss, Boris Karloff one,
Oh yeah,
like
that's
the
the classic.
animated one,
Yeah, that's a
and
classic.
I was a little older when the Carrie one came out, so I never had the, like I appreciate what he did. He's great in it, but I was
Yeah,
always like, give me the I want all the Who's singing.
It's
yeah.
kind of
Follow
glory hallelujah.
Yes.
It's kind of a tough adaptation to ask to make, like, a 20-page children book
So cherished, exactly.
into a 90-minute movie, and, like,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
they did a bang-up job there, like, in terms of it's just like, what can you do?
Yeah, at least they didn't Cat in the Hat it, like, that is a train wreck, the
It
Mike
could have been way
Myers one.
worse. Yeah,
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 that coulda
exactly.
went way worse.
Well, The Grinch is a movie. This version of The Grinch is a movie I came to late in life. I only watched it like for the first time like 6 or 7 years ago, and there's like there's a lot of padding out of the
Yeah.
story right there.
Yeah, there's a you mean the whole movie?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
The whole movie's a padding out. That's basically well, you had to do it. You had to get to the 90-minute runtime, and they did that effectively.
The original padding out from the story was, "Here, we'll just have them sing a lot more, and then we can make a half an hour cartoon," and then they're like, "You know what? We can stretch this into a movie." So, like, of course, it's gonna be really threadbare at some points, you know? Like, half an hour cartoon, perfect.
yeah.
Definitely, definitely, but that is our recap of the movies we watched recently, but movie we all watched is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
The ride of the summer is coming. Mind your head. On June 4th, old friends return.
Ridiculous.
New dangers await. And the Prisoner of Azkaban escapes. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Housekeeping.
This film is not yet rated.
Oh, come
All right, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban is a 2004 fantasy film directed by Alfonso Cuarón from a screenplay by Steve Coles. It is based on the 1999 novel of the same name by J.K. Rowling. It stars Daniel Radcliffe as Harry Potter alongside Rupert Grint as Ron Weasley, Emma Watson as Hermione Granger. It chronicles Harry's third year at Hogwarts and his quest to uncover the truth about his past, including the connection to recently escaped Azkaban prisoner Sirius Black that he has to Harry and his deceased parents. So this is I think probably the biggest shift in the film franchise of this, and I want to make this note clear here. I think we were talking about it beforehand. I'm not sure if I really touched upon it here. For Dowling and I, who are fans of the books, fans of the movies, um, there is I think there's a big belief that it's like, oh, if you've seen the Harry Potter movies, you've read the books, and I don't think that's the case at all. I think 1 and 2 are really really close, and then The further along they get, the farther they stray from the books at all. Um,
Agreed.
so I kind of view the metrics of the books and the movies on different scales. Like, obviously, I'm taking into account what they're able to adapt from the books into the movies, but like, there are different things that need to be done um, in film adaptation to books, where it's like you get the same scene, but it's done differently. Like, I think the biggest one in this one, because I was didn't have time to read The Prisoner of Azkaban, but I did read about like the differences like between the books and the movie, and one of the big ones, and it's one of the big standout scenes I think for me in this movie, where you kind of see the Harry Potter film elevated to this cinematic quality and level that the Christopher Columbus movies didn't have, and none of the following films have, which is for me the big reason why this one stands out as easily the best of the film franchise. Um, the one where Mr. Weasley tells Harry about Sirius Black, and it's done in the movie, it's done in this one long take in
Yeah.
the Leaky Cauldron, and it's just fantastic. And the framing of like the Sirius Black poster and how it changes as like the camera just keeps slowly moving there, and
Yeah.
it's all done in this one take. It's so excellent. In the book, it was like Harry hearing Mr. and Mrs. Weasley
Yeah.
y- arguing about
Exactly.
it, and like and that's a they got the same scene across, but they changed it, and
It gave it a cool dark tone
oh
in
yeah,
the shot. It gave it like if Tarantino was filming the Inglorious Bastards bar scene, it had a very similar dark, like
quality
one
to it.
shot. Yeah. And it's like focus on the character. Totally. It was done very well.
Well, there's
Uh,
something about like the first two Christopher Columbus movies, which I watched for the first time like 6 years ago. I think I saw the first one in theaters and hated it. But I watched them again 6 years ago. I just thought they were just boring slogs, if I'm being honest. And not to hate too much. But
Not to hate too
basically,
much, but I despise them.
but it's fine.
But
But but fuck them. No, but Christopher Columbus was originally signed on to direct all the Harry Potter movies, and then he realized by doing so, he would miss out on seeing his children grow up, and he was like, "I'm gonna pass on directing the future movies." So he stayed on for like producers for this movie. Then the shooting wrapped, he decided to end his involvement with the franchise right after this. So they had to scramble and find a new director after this. So first up, they offered Guillermo del Toro, and Guillermo del Toro wanted more of a Dickinson version of the stories. He thought the first two films were too bright and happy and full of light, so he was like, "I'm done." Mark Foster turned this down because he made Finding Neverland, and M. Night Shyamalan was considered to direct, but he turned it down because he was working on The Village at the time.
thank God.
So Warner Brothers then composed of three different directors for their shortlist to replace Christopher Columbus. One was Kelly Kure, who I'm not sure she wrote Thelma and Louise, Kenneth Branagh, and Alfonso Cuarón. Cuarón was originally like not really familiar with the Harry Potter. He never really read the novels. He didn't see the first two movies when he was offered the job of director. And Guillermo del Toro said, "Don't be stupid, read them immediately." He's like, "Read them?" He's like, "All right, men."
Yeah, and
Oh, yeah.
they definitely made the right choice here. I mean, I look at the first two, and to quote you, Tommy, the Christopher Columbus ones feel like we have Steven Spielberg at home.
Yeah.
They
Oh.
definitely have that quality to them where it's like if Steven if Steven Spielberg directed those movies, they are like all timers. You know what I mean? But
Well, you could
it's
probably say about Christopher Columbus's career in general.
pretty much, yeah. Like all of his like really well known and renowned pictures are
So Home Alone.
Home Alone, but people quote it as John Hughes, and then it's like then it's the Harry Potter movies, but that's like J.K. Rowling, and like the directors don't really come into account there. I get what you're saying, where like Guillermo del Toro and like other people are saying like, oh, like the first two were too kiddie or whatever, but it's like those books were pretty straight adaptations, and
Oh, yeah.
they were kiddier. Like those
Oh,
were written as children's novels.
on purpose.
Yeah.
Like, I think by design, the series is set to grow with you. Like, I each of my kids, like, we didn't read them at I tried to group some when I could, but like when you're like 8, I'm going to read you the first one because you can get it. And I can show you some concepts. But when you start introducing darker tones, and you start to see a little bit in the
of the
secrecy in the second book, like we might not know what's going on. And there's certainly that just kind of air of like unknown. And you could tell in the filming too. It's darker. It's more, you know, dank.
you can kind of tell that the good times of I think pretty primarily like the first one, where the first one is like, this is the greatest place on earth. This is a good
Yes.
time, which I think is the
Well,
for you, Tommy, where it's like
The
you
magic.
you don't do well with fantasy at all. Like
Yeah,
in
no.
you're
in
not a fantasy
any
guy.
you're not
well,
a fantasy guy at
You're
all.
not a
the only
fantasy guy.
exception is Princess Bride, but
Okay,
Well,
but that's like that's a fairy
that's a
tale.
masterpiece.
But you
yeah.
like worlds like this or not, but it's if you had to like, there's always that dumb question that'll pop
Like
up of like,
Princess Bride's a superhero movie. It's
yeah,
not like, it's just it truly is like they're gonna win. It's a rom-com superhero movie. That's also a comedy. And
yeah.
like
First, and for you, like you don't care about lore, you don't care about world building. Like I'm not a big
yeah.
lore guy, but I like a nice world. And Harry Potter
But
is like
one sets the tone.
it's
You're
the quintessential, like if
you're
you
in
had to pick
Toys R
what
Us
if you had to
and
pick one if you had to pick one fantasy world to live in, this is the one. Okay, this is the most pleasant one for sure.
oh
Like
yeah,
all the other
you're
ones
Well,
seem
yeah,
you're
you
a
know,
miserable.
wizard, Harry.
you have to
Yes,
deal
that's
with.
the one you want.
And then when
I'll
you
gladly be a Muggle and just like be not aware of any
you
of
are
this.
Vernon Dursley of this
Oh,
podcast.
good
You are
call. You were the Vernon Dursley of this podcast.
He was the like fat kid.
No,
No, that's
that's
Dudley.
Dudley.
He's the
His
uncle.
dad,
Uncle Vernon,
Yeah.
the guy with the
Uncle Vernon.
mustache.
Okay. Yeah. I'll be the uncle. I'll put Harry in the closet.
Yes, that's you.
The cupboard under the stairs, Tommy.
Yes, yes.
Come on.
All right, all right, I'm sorry.
If you're gonna get
I'm
this,
sorry, my reference wasn't accurate enough for you.
I didn't
Yeah.
want to be the corrector, but yes.
Richard
Number
Griffiths
4, Privet
as-
Drive, the cupboard
Tim
under
is
the
used
stairs.
to being correct on this podcast, and now this is
now
one
I get
podcast.
I know I get to
The
I know I
tables
get
have
to
turned.
correct you. Tables
Yeah.
have turned for sure. I mean, Richard Griffiths as
100%.
Uncle Vernon is one of those. It's such a heat check performance every time he's in the
Oh,
movies.
dude.
Like he's just perfect. He's
Well, it's funny
The-
that his like whole role throughout the film series is like, here's how you get fucked with this time.
Oh yeah. And
Yeah.
I don't like you at all. I'm completely forward about it. And like, you're lucky you're here, boy. It's horrible. And luckily it's high fantasy. But Harry is the definition of an abused child, physically, verbally, emotionally, neglectfully, like literally poster child, abused child. Like, if I knew about that as a teacher and didn't report it, I would go to prison. Abused. It's wild. And Uncle
Yeah.
Vernon does a great job of it. Whereas, like,
this, yeah, he's like, just fuck off. And then this one, they have the aunt.
We have to pay for him again. You know?
Yeah. But
Yeah, exactly.
they're just in the first scene when Harry has his anger release and blows up his aunt, which
Oh,
is
it's so
I
nice.
think is done great. And again, another little change from the books to the movies here is like she stays a week, but this is just a day visit. Because
Yeah.
you know what? Like
perfect.
we
It
get
doesn't change the story.
it doesn't change the
perfect edit.
story at all. Perfect little change there. And then Harry takes his wand, and this is where I thought for you, Tommy, you might get into it a little more, where it's like this movie has such an energy to it, and it comes immediately with the arrival of the night bus. When Harry sticks out his wand and that purple triple-decker bus shows up. And again, another little change where like Ernie is like the bus driver's just a guy, and then in this one he's just like this little talking head that controls this other guy. Like, yeah,
It's
take it
cute.
away. Like
Well,
it's just
there's one thing that's great about the whole Ernie thing is I see this pop up on Twitter a lot that people always lament about like the lack of like DVD menus and how creative they used to be. Where people point out the Prisoner of Azkaban DVD would have like the talking shrunken head thing taxi be like
Okay,
the DVD
nice
menu
touch.
and stuff
if
like
you
that.
if you want to talk about DVD menus, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone had the greatest DVD menu of all time. you got to explore the castle. They had games. You had to find the Mirror of Erised to watch the DVD, to watch the deleted scenes of the movie. Like, you had to go through and, like, manually explore the castle. Like, you could
Yeah.
spend an hour on a DVD menu. Like, that is insane to
Well,
think about.
it's insane. The art of DVD menus was just like such a great thing. Where like I watched like Beverly Hills Cop 2 on DVD, and it would be like you're going into like a briefcase file, and like you're looking into different stuff and all that stuff. And nowadays, like 4Ks are still a thing and Blu-rays are still a thing, but most of the menus are just a picture of Eddie Murphy and just says play, and that's it. That's all you're gonna
Well,
get.
all Blu-rays have pictures of Eddie Murphy, whether or not he's in the movie or
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
But there's pros and cons to each because yes, being able to find that every now and then or a cool Easter egg in like the Borat one or like any other neat things, you'd get the negative where people wouldn't think about the replay screen if you were like watching a DVD.
Yeah.
Like I have more than once fallen asleep throwing on the newsies and then woken up because the replay sync is them just going, "And the world will know," like screaming at the top of any like, and that would just play and like jolt you awake, and you're like, "That
Yeah,
was
yeah.
dumb. Never watching that DVD again,
That's
ever."
amazing.
It's like
And
waking up in the dream sequence of Twin Peaks.
dude,
Yeah.
that was one of the most terrifying moments of my life, falling asleep to a show that I wasn't sure I liked and had to be talked into. Like, the only one that's okay was Mulholland Drive, and I do like that one now. But I awake to someone violently punching a girl in the face over and over again. And I'm like, guess what? Never watching this show again. Off.
Done, done immediately. That would be so traumatizing. But I remember like cool shit like the Shaun the Dead DVD, which I like
Yeah.
wore out. And it would be like Sean walking up to the Winchester. That's how the DVD menu started. And nowadays the 4K for it is literally just a picture of Shaun the Dead. And it's just like
Yeah.
like
Well, it's
it's
not
it's
worth
it's
it's not worth the money to develop into it for the number of
Well,
sales you're going to get.
and
and probably
people
like these new discs take up so much more
well,
memory space.
the other thing you had to think about was the televisions. You couldn't just keep a blank picture because
Yeah.
you would get screen burn on the old TVs. So they made it so like something was playing or cycling or doing something enough to keep it going on a lot of these. Like that was part of it.
To end this tangent, I think one we have to shout out, and the goat of this is Shrek 2's DVD has like
Mhm.
an American Idol type thing, where it's all the Shrek characters like
Yes, I
auditioning.
remember that.
And yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
Very nice.
unbelievable. I was gonna shout it out if you didn't, but yeah, the lost art of the DVD menu sounds like a YouTube video I would probably watch. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
Uh,
we should make that podcast or
that
make that special
that's actually not a bad
That
idea.
video
episode.
essay
Yeah, we all
Video
come
essay.
in with the couples.
as I
like
get us off the rails of talk about anything but Harry Potter.
So
uh,
so Tommy, what
It's an immediate sigh.
what don't you like about Harry Potter? Like, what is it for you that just makes you go like, "Fuck this"?
I just find it boring. I don't know. It just doesn't connect with me in a way, and I think it's just too like just, I don't know.
what
I don't.
about the three main
You have to
characters? Do you
you've been
like
doing
the
this
three main
podcast.
characters?
s- s-
Like
Well,
anything?
no. I'm trying to like comprehend. I think a lot of it is just I just find like the whole like pacing of these movies like just not like really engaging for me. I find them just kind of just like taking you out. I don't find the characters that compelling. I think also it's just very British in a way that's not fun for me.
That's
Um,
what it is. Tommy doesn't
yeah.
like the Brits.
Well, hey, I love Shaun the Dead. Love the Simon Pegg movies.
He's an anti-Britite.
This is
Yeah.
my friend Shaun of the Dead. We've been friends for a long time.
Okay,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not letting Tommy go on a tangent about his favorite movie of all time. Okay, he just does not get that.
Mm-mm.
I think that for me, part of it is just like there's something in this series that just doesn't connect. I never really found like high fantasy engaging for me or anything like that. A lot of it, like old timey stuff and the magic and everything like that. It just doesn't really trickle my fancy and stuff like that. When I was a kid, I was much more into the Marvel of it all and like the DC of it all, like comic book, like superheroes and stuff. And that really got me going. Whereas like when I think of like Harry Potter or stuff like that, I just found like I just remember the first movie thinking I was so boring when I was like in like fifth grade or first grade when it came out. And it never really connected to me. And it's weird that like for a franchise that never connected with me, this is a funny thing that I was in second grade and third grade, and I think until like fifth grade, I had Harry Potter glasses. And those are the glasses I wore when I first wore glasses. 'Cause I thought they looked good on me. And I remember thinking like, "Oh, this is cool. This is awesome." Yeah, meanwhile, did not connect with the franchise whatsoever. And part of it was also a little bit of a contrarian thing, but years later, 25 years on, I can appreciate something my sister liked at the time. But for this, just I see it, I get bored. I don't
So
know.
so
It's
then did
immediately
so then this movie just bored you completely?
not completely. I think that this was better than the first two movies. The first two movies I remember being just not engaging and just like too like almost like Guillermo del Toro was saying, too whimsical in a way that was just not fun for me. Whimsical can be good, but I don't know when like the first movie has a whole tangent on Quidditch. I'm like, I don't really give a shit about this game whatsoever. It's taking me out.
It's a
um,
wizarding sport.
yeah.
It's the sport of the wizarding world. It's to build up the world
Well,
building, Tony.
then I think of the millennial thing of like people trying to do Quidditch in real
Quidditch on a
life.
college campus, like with broomsticks between their legs. Yeah, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is just the lamest thing I ever fucking seen in my life. Right there. Well, if we talk about Quidditch real quick, I do appreciate this movie's darker. You know it's darker because Quidditch is done during a rainstorm this time. And there's no rain delay in Quidditch. Like, what's the like commissioner of Quidditch say? It's like, oh, thunderstorms, fair play. Is that okay?
No, it's about safety. Like if you
Well,
can,
what's the sick?
and if it starts, it's it's got to be really hard pressed to stop it. You know,
There's
and
a
it
It's like
lot of
wasn't.
football.
scheduling in. There's a lot of scheduling involved, where it's just like, oh well,
Yeah,
Quidditch is coming up in this campus next week, so we can't do it.
there's
We have
many instances of fights breaking out between houses because both had booked the Quidditch pitch for practice at the same time.
yeah.
Many
It's very
such
big. It's
cases.
very big in the wizarding world.
Huge, baby.
I
It's
you
their
don't
only sport.
listen. It's a way to build some sort of game, which is basically like handball with baseball and
Faster than hockey. Like,
faster. It's got a little bit of hockey to it. It's just
yeah,
like, and then you just put the typical thing of like how do we, because the first one is trying to get all these like fantasy tropes in there. How do we get flying broomsticks in there?
yeah.
Witches
Good way to do it.
fried witches fly broomsticks. Okay, well in this world they play sport on brooms, and like 'cause that's the only instance of flying in the first one. Like the later ones, there's more flying instances, but that's probably the reason it's there.
It's awesome.
And it's cool. Like she came up with a whole freaking sport.
Witches learn how to ride a broom, or the parents teach them, or they take in driver's ed. It's a cool way to do it.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Never connected. I know there was like a GameCube game of Quidditch back
Yeah,
in the day.
that game rocked.
Yeah, yeah. Never really played it. The only game I
Never
played was like
played it.
a Game Boy Advance game, or whatever, or something. But I do want to talk about Michael Gambon being
Gambit.
Dumbledore. Gambon, sorry, Gambon.
Gambone.
As Dumbledore, the original choice for Dumbledore to replace Richard Harris was Sir Ian McKellen, and
Oh,
on top of, like, having appeared as, like,
if
Gandalf
only.
in Lord of the Rings and, like, that being just a repeat kind of, he said, "I had enough trouble living up to 1 legend, 2 would be too much to hope for." He said it'd also be inappropriate to take Richard Harris's role, as Richard Harris once called, McKellen a dreadful actor. So, him and
Well, Richard
had a
Harris
little
loved to drink, so you never know.
whenever I think of Richard Harris, I sure most people think of Dumbledore, but I always think of him as, British Bob in, Unforgiven. As the guy who tells all
Mhm.
the telltales and gets the shit beat out of him by Gene
Yeah.
Hackman at the end.
Oh
But
yeah,
I
great
I
movie.
I think like we talk about the shift in tone in this one. Like I think like the Richard Harris to Michael Gambon is the thing that most audiences will be able to connect with the shift of it because the Richard Harris Dumbledore is a lot closer to the book adaptation of Albus Dumbledore, where this one kind of loses that. Like, he in the books, he's very like this, like very mystical, always calm, always collected, always cool, like soft spoken but wise character. And Michael Gambon one kind of brings this intensity to him that he definitely does not have in the books, but I think it kind of works for the movies in a way, like just the movies itself, because like when the stories start to become more and more intense and the stakes start to get higher and higher and they stop being these like little whimsical like fantasy school adventures and the world starts to come more and more influenced into the Harry Potter series. Um, like in the film adaptation, I don't necessarily know if the Michael Gambon one is as bad as like true bookheads will make it out to be. Like I think it works if you just take the movies on themselves versus if you try to isolate it from the books versus the
So
film adaptation.
He's like more warm in the books overall.
I
It's
wouldn't
like
even call him warm. He's more
some warm,
sage.
austere,
He's
stoic.
yeah.
stoic, sage. He's got
Yeah.
it. It's a twinkle in the eyes, right? Like
Yes.
that's
Yes.
the description of him
It's
in the books.
he's on your side, and you're gonna be safe. And
Um,
it's just
and
he's the goat.
I think Harris had that. Harris
Yeah.
had
Yeah, Harris definitely had that.
that quality that Gambon does not have at all. Um, but
No.
I think what's interesting about this one is the first two have their own distinct style, and then three through the sevens have their own visual distinct style, and like three really establishes that look. Like the printing of the text that's like going to be in all the papers and stuff like that. Just the
It's
way
well
the
done.
castle looks and stuff. It's all established in the Prisoner of Azkaban. It's really a reset of the film world because those first two
Mm.
just feel like Tommy. You haven't seen the rest of them. These the first two feel completely isolated in like a box compared to the rest
Well,
of the films.
they definitely feel more like kids movies,
Sure.
as it goes on. Um, so, and I guess this is a point to, like, talk about, like, the central cast right here. I do wanna mention Alfonso Cuarón when he first came on this movie, he, in order to acquaint himself with the 3 lead actors and actresses, he had each of them write an essay about their characters,
Yeah,
and from a first person point of view. So, Emma Watson, in the Hermione type fashion, went overboard and wrote a 16-page essay. Daniel Radcliffe did a
like a
one-page
page and a
summary.
half. Yeah.
Yeah, and Rupert Grint never turned his in.
He was because he said Ron would never turn
Ron
this
wouldn't have
in.
done it.
Yeah, convenient excuse there, Rupert Grint.
Brilliant. Well,
Yeah,
win the game. Like, think outside the box.
that'd be me. Well,
That's
my
how
character
to do
wouldn't
it.
do this.
And also not for nothing, he's not replacing Ron Weasley in the cast
No,
if he doesn't
but
turn in this essay. You imagine going to Warner Brothers with your billion-dollar franchise being like, "Oh, this kid actor didn't write a voluntary essay on his character. We need to recast him." And they're like, "Are you out of your mind?"
no, it's that's thinking fourth dimensionally. Like, you're like, "Pff, I'm not doing this, and here's why. Checkmate, my friend. Well
Yeah.
done. He's always been good at chess."
Okay, so we've been talking a lot about like let's talk about the movie itself because like I feel like the only
Hit
scene
me.
we've really covered is the ant getting blown up and the Sirius
Yeah,
Blacks. Like we haven't talked about anything else. I know,
I've been
Tommy.
derailing us.
I know, but we're 50 minutes in. We're 50 minutes in.
Let me start a little bit. It's like, what a great way to kick things off and get the ball rolling. Everyone's had the dinner where you get so angry you're about to do something. Then, like, the roller, like, you're so mad at a relative, you're like, I'm going to leave. Like, his just is a little more on steroids, and the police are involved. What a way to get it going. And then, like, it certainly sets the dark tone of this whole movie.
But
Like,
Tommy, I'm surprised for you. You know, you're saying like the first two are like slow, methodical. Like I feel like this one has a real urgency to it
oh, yeah.
that the remainder of the movies actually, I would say, try except for 7 part 1, try to
Yeah.
capture and do not
Certainly.
capture well at all, and I think this is a testament to Alfonso Cuarón.
Yeah,
Like
there's
he
fear
went
on
on to
the
have a
air.
fantastic career. Um, After this, like this is the movie that you make that lets you be able to go to the rest of the studios and go, I've made a financially viable product. Now let me make my thing.
Yep.
Let me make the
He
thing that
he
I
has
want.
he has never done a IP movie since,
Yeah,
Alfonso Cuarón. Yeah.
I'm guessing he didn't really have any interest in doing this other than probably being told like, "Hey, just do this one, do it really well. You'll have a movie in your belt bag that's made all this
Guillermo del
money.
Toro was like, "You'll make a lot of money."
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll make a
That's
lot of money. Just you'll live
Do it
comfortably if you."
well, and you're gonna be great.
It's all gravy from this point
Yeah,
on.
with
Mhm.
biscuit wheels.
But I think this
But
v
in
th
terms of the tone, like I do like some of the stuff and like the little tertiary stuff where I don't remember this in the first two movies, but I love like the wanted poster of Sirius Black and how he's built up in this movie and how majority of times you see him built up is like almost like a holographic image type thing. Where you see like the poster and he keeps on like the movement going in and out over and over again. And that's a really cool like director's touch where it makes like the mystery of who Sirius Black is compelling, which unfortunately, I think once Sirius Black's introduced, it falls flat on its face because, like Dan was saying earlier before we started recording,
Yeah.
well, let him
Gary
make this
Oldman,
point. Let him make
Yeah,
this point.
no,
This
it's
is his
alright. We
point.
could talk about it. Hit it,
yeah,
Tommy. I'll listen, I
Gary,
won't jump in.
I think that Gary Oldman, I was thinking like, oh, Gary Oldman's in this movie. This is probably gonna be amazing. This is probably gonna be like maybe this will win me over, and instead it was just not memorable at all for me. It was just a whatever type thing, you know.
Well, this was the time where every renowned British actor was just getting involved in the Harry Potter franchise. It was like they didn't even have a choice. It was like state appointed.
And for Gary Oldman,
100%.
he straight up said he accepted the role because he needed the work and he hadn't acted for over a year.
Yeah,
And he wanted to take the role to please his sons too. And like you could kind of tell the passion wasn't there for him. I mean, Don,
It
yeah,
shows so much. Gary Oldman is one of my favorite actors of all time. Even when he's in a bit part, I love him. I loved him in bad movies. He's great. And it feels like he didn't read the books. And, like, to play someone as integral as Sirius Black, you have to. Someone as important as integral as Sirius Black, like, I wish he just would've I felt like he didn't care. I felt like I saw him just cashing the check, and
yeah.
I th I think he could have knocked it out of the park, but there was a lot of overacting in places. There was a lot of just, like, psychotic craziness when
You
you
know,
didn't need it.
and it's a departure of the character in the books because the whole hype is that Sirius Black is Harry Potter's godfather. He betrayed Harry's parents, told Voldemort where the parents' location was. He's the first person to ever escape from the wizarding prison of Azkaban, and now he's on the run to hunt down and kill Harry Potter. Right, like that's the plot of the whole
Yeah, it's
movie.
perfect.
And well, in the books, he's a much more stoic character. He's much more calm and reserved towards Harry. Versus this one, when we get to the Shrieking Shack, which is like this really exciting moment where we go through the
Totally.
Whopping Willow. One of the things I actually really love, like just little minute details, because the Harry Potter books always take place during the four seasons. You have your fall, winter, spring, summer. It's almost four acts, right? Um, and you just each time you know you're going into like an act change essentially is that the movie just shows the Whomping Willow, the crazy tree that's parked up there, just changing the season, shedding its leaves, shedding growing leaves, whatever. It's just very nice visual distinction.
It's the quarters of the school year, you know?
Yeah.
It's
It, it,
perfect.
it's just a but like none of the other movies do anything clever like that. You know,
No.
like it's just these little like clever moments in this that I
I
think
think it's the
elevate the.
upgrade of having Caron in the movie.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
he's the star of the show in this one. Like
yeah, yeah.
spoiler alerts for the section, but he's the reason that this movie I think stands above all the others. I think it's the like I don't know if Prisoner of Azkaban would be a lot of people's favorite book, but I think it's a lot of people's favorite movie of the Harry Potter franchise,
I
if
could
that
see
makes
that.
sense.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
could
That,
see
that
that.
feels
I
fair.
and I also think this narrative is interesting too because it's the only one where Voldemort is not the adversary.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
it's all the other ones, Voldemort is the man behind the scenes,
No, no.
and then J.K. Rowling gets to use her favorite plot device, which is a red herring. She loves her red herrings in her
They're
stories.
great. They're so good.
They're in, like, pretty much all of them.
Every single
There's
one.
a red herring in almost every Harry Potter story.
Red,
There's always
crimson,
some
scarlet, vermilion, all the herrings.
yes, it's it's always somebody who you think is a good guy is a bad guy. Somebody who's a bad guy is actually you think is a bad guy is actually a good guy. Like it's there in pretty much all of these movies,
Totally.
um, and books. And I think this one works to the most effective of its thing because Ron's rat scat. I think this is the most effective red herring she does in any of them
Amazing.
because Ron has this. He's from a poor family. He has this garden rat Scabbers. He's just been kind of like a throwaway character for the first two.
Hand me
Then we
down.
get a little bit more. He's a hand me down rat, and then it turns out that he's Peter Pettigrew, Wormtail from the James Potter, Harry's dad's crew of high school friends. Um, and he was actually the one that betrayed Harry's parents and let Sirius Black take the blame
Yeah.
for it. And
What a
Sirius
rat.
Black has been stemming in prison for however 12, 13 years, whatever it is. He's been stewing in this prison cell, just like waiting for it. And I think it's the most effective of the red herrings. Like all
It's
the other ones are
amazing.
kind of like, oh, okay. Like all of this is starting to connect together. Like I think of the Mad Eye Moody Barty Crouch one, but it's not really.
Well, the tidal wave of emotions that hits you, that the person you hate most in the world, the one who you think is responsible for your parents dying, actually is the only one who knows you're in danger and is trying to save you and is trying to save you so bad. He's the only one to ever break out of prison. Like that devotion. And it's like, oh my God. Like, and it becomes his like he tries to use it as his happy memory to save him. Like, I'm going to go live with him. I don't need to go back to the cupboard under the stairs. It's such a roller coaster. And then to just see him again and be like, oh my God, someone loves me, and to have him snatched away at the end. It's a really well done emotional roller coaster.
Where he escapes, but Harry doesn't get what he wants.
Yeah, you don't get what you want. You're not meant
You
to
get
be happy.
you get half. You don't get 100%, which
Yeah,
is a good life lesson in a children's story too. of,
well,
like,
it's starting up the scary. It's
Yeah.
starting up the scary.
Tommy, let me ask you because there's time travel becomes a big proponent in this one. How did that land for you? Because like for me, I tend to in stories I tend to just not question time travel. If you think about time travel for more than a second, it doesn't
It'll ruin everything.
It ruins
It
everything.
was fun in this movie. It was charming. I mean, they basically just did a riff on Back to the Future too,
Yeah,
if we're being
yeah.
honest, right here. And like, I think the funniest part of it was Hermione being like, "Oh, like I didn't know how the back of my hair looked. Is that how the back of my hair looks or something?"
But I
But
I loved how they foreshadowed it, especially in this movie. Like they did such a good job. The one scene with the boggart in the cupboard where Harry sees the Dementor, and they're all doing the spell to get rid of the boggart. And I noticed Alfonso Cuarón loves moving the camera through glass in this one. He really loves pushing that camera through windows and mirrors and having it come into the classroom. But you come in through the mirror there and you push through and you just see Harry and Ron and all the other classmates, and then the camera keeps pushing to the side, and then all of a sudden Emma Watson's in the frame, and they're all just like, "Where did you come from?" And like, on your first watch, you're probably just sitting there being like, "Okay, got it, yeah, yeah, yep, okay, establishing shot." You're not even thinking about Hermione not being in that shot, and then when you say it, you're like, "Why are they making such a big deal about it?" And then you learn that it's this time traveling device that she's been taking, so she can take all these classes that are overlapping. She's really trying to cram it
Push
all to
yourself.
be to push herself to be the true know-it-all that she is.
Yeah, it's well done.
It's very well done in there. I one of the other things I really loved and this is during the time traveling section when they go back to push it in. Tommy, I you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
You're
I'm good.
slumping.
You're slumping. You're slumping. I'm trying to keep you engaged here.
I'll still talk.
But
What do you need?
but
The,
like
the, the
when they
first podcast, you hear me snoring.
tell us how you really feel.
Get a
Yeah.
CPAP.
But the when they start the time traveling section and they go back, it goes through the window of the hospital wing, and then they go down into the field overviewing, and then when they rush back to the hospital wing after saving
Yeah, the
a serious and
dissolve.
thing, and then but it pushes right back through that
Yeah.
window the other way,
Yeah, it's
and the camera
nice.
goes that way. It's just like such a nice tight cap, and it's all these like little decisions that just elevate this movie more. Because I would argue that the Harry Potter film franchise is a as a whole a giant step down from the book series, like a
It's not
gigantic.
close.
It's not even close, and I think,
There's very few books there as good as the movies. I'm
but
sorry. There's
but
limited.
it's limited, but this is the one movie that I think actually lives up to that book. I think so.
Okay.
And we deal with the whole. Do you not agree with that, Dowling?
No, well, I have a very curated list. I only think
I'm not
there's
talking
like
about this series. I'm just
no,
talking
no, no.
about this movie.
I think there's only 2 movies in ever that are better than the books. So like
Which is
it's
not what
I
Timmy asked.
yeah.
That was
Wait,
not my
what'd you say?
question.
What
I
did you
just,
say? Does this live
I'm
up to the
asking,
book?
does this movie live up to the book? To
No.
the Prisoner of Azkaban book?
No. I don't think any movie lives up to the book except 2 of them. That's what I mean. You know? Like, yeah, I think it's great. I think it's one of the better I think it's certainly in the upper echelon of all the videos of the Harry Potter series, without a doubt. But I don't think a single one of them lives up to the books.
Okay, I mean that's
Yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah, no, no, no. It's like I just very few videos live up to books.
So to go on, I do want to mention this, the one part we haven't touched upon. I did like the Dementors in this. I thought that was cool.
Oh, they were great.
The exposure I've had from the Dementors is Michael Scott in The Office saying the worst part about prison was the Dementors. He's prison Mike. Like that's my soul. That's my soul cultural osmosis.
That's
when they
really awesome.
when they actually came in, I was like, oh fuck yeah, like that's cool. Little creepy dudes, and like the intro of like how like Alfonso Cuarón directs it, where like you go in and you see the Dementors, like pretty much
and
all
they
the ghosts,
pull the face,
and
like the way they
everything
pull.
becomes like blue and everything like that. Just the color palette changes completely. I thought it was a really cool touch.
Yeah,
One
it's
of the
well
few
done.
like bright spots for for me in this movie.
Sucks all the warmth and happiness out of a place, and that's a
Yeah.
nice way to depict it visually. You know,
That's what we call me covering a Harry Potter movie on the podcast.
everyone around
Listen,
him's like, I feel cold.
Tommy, I do have to say, the prison Mike reference is spot on. Just
Yeah.
that's A+ reference. I can tell we're losing you here a little bit. Like I can tell you're like I'm ready for Tim to make the transition here whenever he wants. But I can tell that you're that's what you get for going on a bunch of tangents instead of talking about the movie. It just goes on longer.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. It's like spot on with the Dementors, and just like I think one of the issues of the series in general, like in Voldemort, he's like, and I think it's just an issue of like big bads in general. They just tend to have this issue of like they're this overarching evil that lingers out there, but it's not super focused on the character itself. Like it was trauma in Harry's past, but it's not super focused, and his scar hurts, but it's not like super focused on Harry in a way until the later books. In this one, it's like the challenge he's actually facing is he can't control himself around this, and it's because of that trauma. So it's intertwining all that like past history he's had with these new prison guard creatures that have just a different effect on him than they do on everybody else.
Well, that's the beautiful high school part of it, where it's like suddenly like, what's your biggest fear when you're around your peers? Like, oh my God, why am I freaking out? Everyone else can handle this, you know? And they do that very well. Like that kind of like shame, like imagine like, what did I wear? Like, you imagine showing up in bell bottoms at the wrong time in the 80s or something, like it's just that like it portrays that very well when he like faints and he's like, uh-oh, are you guys okay? Did anyone else lose consciousness? It's nice.
It is nice, and, I think one of the things the movies do struggle with is, like, introducing the side characters that fill the books with charm, and I think in this one, they really put the spotlight on they give Lupin a lot of screen time and a lot of time, and I think it's a very good adaptation of that character, whereas I feel
Totally.
like in some of the other in the other movies, they don't adapt the characters as well, and we kind of miss that charm and that feeling, and if you just watch the movies, you probably just go, "Why couldn't you just give it to this character? Like, why couldn't you just melt these into 2 parts?" But I really like Remus Lupin in this as
No,
well.
Lupin was wonderful. He did a great job.
As a father as another father figure for Harry,
Yeah,
who's always kinda searching
yeah,
for that,
totally.
and I do love that scene in the Shrieking Shack where, Lupin comes in, where we still think Sirius Black
Well,
is the bad guy,
yeah.
and then you think Lupin is on his side, and
Oh,
it's only for, like, a minute until we finally get the explanation of everything, but it's just this it's like this like, I remember the first time reading it going, "What?
yeah.
Lupin?" Like, the
Oh,
whole time, like, it's just
I
it's so well done in the movie too, and it's
but it's I wish Gary Oldman went deep. Like, I
yeah,
wanted Gary Oldman that's the scene I wanted Gary Oldman
that's the
for.
scene you
And
needed Gary
instead he
Oldman
goes,
to be Gary
"No."
Oldman.
I wanted him to have the composure and just start to see it crack, but when just see it crack, and then he's like, "He's here, Remus." And then, I wanted that moment of magic because I thought Lupin was doing it. I think Gary didn't bring it
Yeah, I agree. It is Gary Oldman that holds it down in the movie itself. Like it is him that
because
is
that
like
could have been the masterpiece moment. It really
yeah,
could
that could
have.
have been the cementing thing where it
Yes.
keeps that from being perfect. But I do think this is near perfect. And
It's
let us
it's very, very good. It's not
it's
perfect.
I didn't say it was perfect. I said
Yeah,
it
I
was near
know that's
perfect.
sorry, didn't mean
I am a star. I'm a star, I'm a star, I'm a star. I am a big, bright, shining star.
All right, who is the star of the show? Who gave the best performance? It's obviously not Gary Oldman, but Tommy, I will let you go ahead.
We didn't talk about him at all, and because I brought him up on Die Hard earlier, Alan Rickman
Oh
as
yes,
Snape.
Snape.
I mean, he didn't have that much to do in this one. I feel like,
It's another
but
big problem of the books versus the movies. He has a lot more to do in the books,
yeah,
and
yeah.
in the
Well,
movies, he's kind of very relegated to a side character, and it's
but
such a good adaptation of the character that it elevates him into this more
Yeah.
prominent role than he actually has in the movies.
well, it's the thing that about Rickman. Like ever since Die Hard, if Rickman knew how to do one thing in acting, it was how to make a fucking entrance. Die Hard definitely held that true. In this one,
Mhm.
whenever he comes in, I mean, they just got so much juice out of that. In that Potter movies, I feel like of just Rickman just open up the doors and it's like,
Oh,
it's the
The
guy.
bellowing of the bellowing of the cloak, just like the
Yeah,
way he would
yeah,
just whip
immediately.
that thing around.
He was
Oh,
fun in this. But again, like I said, not much to do. Um, I mean, if I had to give like in terms of like performances, I'm not even sure where I'd start to be honest. Like maybe the kids are fine. I mean, it's the weird thing about these movies that you kind of see these kids, from what I've heard, become better and better actors and like slowly
You
grow into
definitely do. And
like
you
right.
start to see their limitations, like, as actors too. I think this is the biggest growth for Daniel Radcliffe, of all the 3 in this one.
yeah. He's a kid and
When he goes into the scene where he's under the invisibility cloak and he learns that Sirius Black was his godfather with McGonagall talking with the Cornelius Fudge in the what is three broomsticks, and then he comes out and he's just like, "He was their friend," and it's like a little campy and a little overacting, but
it's
it's like
good.
this little bit of growth that he has. And I think the other scene is when he's talking to Hermione and they're waiting for their past selves to come out of the Shrieking Shack, and he's just like, "This is my dad," like I saw my dad. He saved me. He was the one who conjured this Patronus." And Hermione's looking at him like he's just so dead set on this idea that his dad saved him because it's just what he wants to believe. Um, and for a 14-year-old actor to be able to portray that, I think it's very well done. Like for that age, there, I kind of, I feel like the star of the show is Alfonso Cuarón here. Like he establishes the Harry Potter visual style that's now in the theme parks. Like that the visual language of the Harry Potter franchise going forward that even lives in like the Fantastic Beasts series. It all like that set design and world design all comes from Alfonso Cuarón and his team and what they did on this movie. And like it is iconic whether you like the movies, whether you like Harry Potter or not, it's certainly distinct. And like
He's yeah, easily the best part. I mean, like, the visual touches he does add to it in a movie that, like, I mostly didn't care for, if I'm being honest, but he was innocent, for me, at least. You could definitely see whereas, like, he definitely uses as a launching pad to, like, make his career, like, expand, and to the point that now he has, like, pretty much a blank check to do whatever he wants because he made the best Harry Potter movie. He made one of the more profitable ones, I feel like, and, the fact that he went goes on and does Children of Men after this, and this complete passion project. I mean, every one of his movies since then has been an original story for him, and if he didn't do great in this, then he wouldn't have had that. He would have been like I feel like some of the other guys in the Harry Potter franchise, I mean, who are the other directors right there? We have Christopher Columbus. David Yates, I feel like just does YA shit at this point.
yeah, he doesn't add anything, and then the person that did Goblet and Order of the Phoenix did even worse personally. Like he is the one true standout director in this, and it's the only one that like I think the first two do capture a whimsicality to them, whether you like that or not. In a cinematic arena that does stand out. I do think this is the one that it's like, oh, there's a cinematic quality to this that none of the others have, though.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's a level of care and polish to this one that the other movies do not. Like, is there any performance that
I could
stands out
see
to you
that.
in this one?
Well, yeah, I mean, the big three, Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, and Emma Watson, I appreciate them, and I agree with you 100% that they grow through the whole franchise. By far for me, Alan Rickman through all the movies plays the best role, like both on screen and being like true to the books. If I have to give a best performance, I feel terrible. What's the name of the actor who plays Remus Lupin?
I can
Shit.
definitely get that for you.
Yeah, I didn't look it up. I'm sorry.
I no, I know
I've only
he's like
seen him
a
in that one DC movie. The that one wasn't great either. But I think he does a great job as Lupin in this one. I uh I feel the shabbiness, the
David
tattered.
Thewlis.
That's it. Him. I feel like the shabbiness, it feels true to the character. You feel he cares for Harry and like, but he's scared and like, yeah, I get the nuance and I think it's really well done, especially like in the just kind of guarded, like, of course I care for you, but like, I'm caught in something bigger. Like, I know, you know, I think my best friend was a murderer who killed my other best friend and his wife. He's a complicated man, and I think it comes across on screen.
Yeah, I agree. Also wanted to shout out very quick, Timothy Spall as Peter Pettigrew, just like this
Oh,
wiry,
yeah.
like it's a heat
He's
check
great as a
performance.
rat.
He's great as a
rat,
rat.
man. He's great as a rat. Shout out to him for making this guy a vermin, both literally and figuratively, um, as such.
100%.
Ah, are you ready, comedy partner? Waka waka.
All right. Would Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban work as a Muppet adaptation? Tommy, I just want your take. I want you to cast the entire Muppets cast as a Harry Potter cast.
Well, I feel like first of all, the Muppets have definitely have had to do some like Harry Potter type bullshit over the years.
I don't know. This is like the post Muppet era, though. Like
Yeah.
this is when they're dormant. This is
Yeah,
when
it's
this is
true. I
really
mean,
popular.
There's a Sesame Street one where they did like Furry Potter and the Goblet of Fur, or whatever. I don't know, I'm looking at that picture right now.
Oh
So
God. Did
Sam the
Tommy,
Eagle.
did you just click on a bad link?
No, 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 no. It was no. This is what Google gets me on.
No, jeez. Turn on safe search.
Yeah. Save search on. So
Pretend it's your work computer.
first of all, yeah, exactly. Sam the Eagle is Snape. That feels like
Definitely.
there's like a home run right there, right there. And do you keep Harry Potter as like the one human, as like Daniel Radcliffe? Do you make Hermione Miss Piggy?
Yeah, you have to. There's like 5 Muppet females, and she's the most prominent one.
Scooter is obviously what's it called?
Neville.
I was gonna say Ron Weasley.
No, I feel like
Gonzo?
no,
Mm.
I feel like Fozzie Bear is a good Ron.
I can see that. I can see that actually.
He's a bit of a comic relief. Dowling, you disagree, but listen,
I don't know. It's hard to do. I don't know.
this
if
is
it
a very
works.
I think
I
this is
don't
a
think it works. Snape as Sam the Eagle is perfect. If you can just have Sam the Eagle Snape and everyone else stays human, I'd do it.
I'm okay. I'm okay with that too. Okay, review time. Give me your score to 5, Tommy.
All right, here we go. Harry Potter is a franchise I never connected with, and unfortunately, I can't say anything has changed. So I think Alfonso Cuarón does some good directing, but I just can't get engaged with this. I just get bored. It's like my eyes drool over. It's like I put on a Harry Potter thing. So I'm gonna go. Honestly, I'm
Be
leaning towards like
careful. You got warned beforehand. Be careful.
I got one beforehand, and I'm probably gonna break this warning. I'm gonna go 2.5 out of 5. I think there's some good stuff here, but it's just not the franchise for me. It doesn't connect with me. I'm not saying
Well,
that.
that's still I honestly that's higher than I thought you were gonna give it. I thought you were gonna give this like a 1.5. Like
No.
Oh,
I'm
no.
No,
surprised.
I do have to admit the directing was good, but like I feel like just the story and just the overall plot just I don't give a shit. If I be, immediately I just get disengaged. And this is
Uh,
what a 1 hour and 2 hour and like 20-minute movie or something like that.
Yeah.
Too long.
I don't feel that with this one at all. Some of them, yes, but also shout out the New York Knicks for winning the NBA Cup. Just wanted to shout them out very quick here for
Ew.
the fake in season title. We
Got
needed
something.
some. It's been 50 plus years. They needed something. Dowling, what about
All
you?
right.
Score time.
Okay. Do I enjoy this movie every time I watch it? Certainly. Am I ever going to watch this by myself? No. That's a 3.5 all day. Like, I love watching it with my family. If someone's never seen it and they want to watch it, I'll be like, oh yeah. I'll watch it with you. I think it's a great movie. Um, Certainly one of the higher scores, if not tied for the highest score for all the movies for me. Like, I'll first time it with anyone, but like I'm not rewatching this by myself.
I'm shocked. I thought that you were gonna give us like a 4 or like a
So
4.5.
I'm gonna shock you.
No.
I'm gonna give this a 4. I think this is easily the best Harry Potter movie. I don't know if it's particularly close. I think the visual flair and the
Yeah.
pretty tight adaptation of the book to this is really knocks it out of the park. I think it has the best twist of all of them because all of them end up having a twist. It's got a little bit of that M Night Shyamalan quality to them. Um, I I I think this one just I think there's a lot of points you can come into this movie, put it on if you like, if it's on cable or something, and just go, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we got the hippogriff scene coming up here with Harry riding. Okay, yeah, I'll
Beautiful
watch it.
scene.
And then you're sitting there, and then you end up watching the rest of the movie.
Yeah,
I
totally.
think there's a lot of great jump points into this. I think it established a very cool visual flair that maybe isn't super accurate to the books, but I think works well for the visual medium, and I think it breaks up the mundaneness of the visual style that the first two do have. Even though those films are whimsical, they feel a little bit mundane for the magical world, and I think this one, for something that's set contemporarily, takes this, like, 1920s style and just kind of says, like, "Hey, the wizards are stuck in the past, so let's make their style just completely stuck in the past," like, they never adapted into the future the way that the Muggles did, right? So, I mean, this film left a legacy, and I think the film still holds up today. And Gary Oldman being the weakest part as Sirius Black is unfortunate, but easy to get over enough. So for me, 4 out of 5, really great movie. It's a fun one to watch with the family. It's a fun one to watch with
Yeah,
the kids.
totally.
And I think for if you haven't watched this in a while and you decide to go back to it on HBO or whatever, paying attention to some of the visual cues that I don't think really exist in the other ones, but do exist in this one will elevate your viewing experience of the movie.
Yeah.
But all right, Dowling, thank you so much for coming on,
Oh,
being
so
our
good
little
to see
Harry
you,
Potter
Lance.
nerd on this one. We love having you on always.
Oh, it's always good to see you.
Tommy, any final thoughts before we wrap up this episode?
Well, thank you guys so much for listening. This is our 4th season doing the podcast, 4 years, which is insane. And we want to thank you guys so much for listening. But once again, follow us on social media at SCENEIT Pod. That's on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and also you can find us on Blue Sky, podscenic.bluesky.social. And leave us a 5-star review on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Helps us out, helps us for the show. And this is the end of our 2025 season, and we're coming back with some good movies. We're not sure which ones yet, but
We'll
we'll let
definitely
you
come
know.
back with some good movies. But yes, enjoy Christmas, enjoy your holiday season. Thank you all so much for listening. We'll see you next year.
Bye.